Today we are looking at the first 10 things you should do if you get your brand new Pixel Watch 3. And I broke the video down in basically two parts. First we will check out how to customize your Pixel Watch, and then we will take a look at some essential settings to change. Alright, to start, let's take a look at customizing the Pixel Watch, as it's one of my favorite things of the Pixel Watch 3, how far you can actually go to really make it your own, and we will start right away with the watch faces. Now by default, the Pixel Watch 3 already comes with a pretty big selection of watch faces. In order to change the watch face, just long press the home screen, and from here on you can scroll to the left to go through all of your watch faces. And if you scroll all the way to the end, you will see that little plus icon, and if you press this one, it will open up your little watch face shop on your smartwatch. Over here you will find even more digital and analog watch faces and some other styles. Now if that's not enough, you can head over to your smartphone and open up the watch face store in the Google Pixel Watch app, and you got a pretty big selection of watch faces right here. It starts with some activity-based watch faces that includes your heart rate, your steps, the temperature outside, you have the Fitbit Health Center, and your workouts. So very activity based. You have analog arcs and bold. Right here you will find your complications all around the watch face. You have some utility based watch faces, abstract, and very minimalistic ones with your analog and digital clock. There are really a lot to choose from, but the great part is that basically all of them are customizable. Now you can either do it right on your smartwatch by pressing the little edit button on the bottom end of the screen, or you can just do it right on your smartphone. Now depending on the watch face that you are on, you can customize different things. Now you can change the colors of the numbers and the details, but you cannot change the color of the background. It will always stay black, which is a bit of a bummer. I guess it's Google's way to hide the black bezels on this watch. Now then you can go ahead and change the layout of the complications and the time. Sometimes there are just 2 layout options, and sometimes there are up to 5 ones. Like I said, it always depends on your current watch face. As well as we can change our complications. Those are basically all of our apps on your smartwatch, and you really have a lot of options on the Pixel Watch 3. Like you got your emails, there's the WhatsApp and Spotify, or the media controls. You have a quick access to all of your health metrics, weather, or the Google Wallet. The list is pretty long, as you can see. And the great part is that you can now interact with those complications on your home display, and you don't have to look for the app in the app menu anymore. So that's really the first thing I would do if I get that new smartwatch. Some might not know that you can actually change the home screen, or rather the layout of the app menu. By default it is set to this grid layout, which I love, but all the way on the bottom of your app menu you can also change it to a list layout. It's a bit more sorted like this, starting with all of the apps with an A and ending with Z. Another thing I would change as soon as I get this watch is to change the watch orientation. It's a feature that you're not going to find on every smartwatch, but I think it's great. What it actually does is to flip the screen upside down. Now you first have to say on which wrist you want to wear your smartwatch, and then you can say if you want to have your button on the left or on the right side. Since I'm a lefty, I always wear my watch on the right side, and I also want to have the button on the right side as well. The biggest benefit is during your workouts. Like for example, if you're doing some push-ups, you will always feel the button present against the back side of your hand. And this one is a little uncomfortable, and sometimes you press the button like this and you exit the workout. Next we have the bedtime mode and the DnD mode. Both more or less do the same thing. You will find those two in the apps and notification settings, and you got different options right here. You can turn it off and on, and then you can customize it. Like if you still want to get alarms even with the DnD mode toggled on, or for repeat callers. Might be something more serious when someone calls you repeatedly. I would also turn on the auto bedtime mode. As soon as your watch detects that you are asleep, it will turn this mode on. And that would save you some battery life, and you won't wake up because of someone's calling or you get any notifications during the night. And that basically leads me right over to the next point, and those are your notifications. I think by default you get all of your notifications that you would also get on your smartphone, but you can also toggle specific notifications off. For this, go to your Google Pixel Watch app, click on notifications, and then click on your watch apps or the phone apps. I really just need notifications from WhatsApp, my banking apps, and maybe YouTube, but that's it. I can turn off everything else, which again saves a lot of my battery life because the watch doesn't light up every 5 minutes, and I'm more concentrated when I'm working since I really only get the necessary stuff, and then I still can decide if I want to respond to any messages. And in notification settings you can also mute notifications from your phone if you are using your phone, so it doesn't double up and other things. I highly recommend checking these ones out if you get the Pixel Watch. Another feature that zaps a lot of your battery life is the always on display mode, but it's also one of the best features that you can have on your smartwatch. At least in my opinion. Like this, your watch may only live for about a day instead of a day and a half, but it's definitely worth it. You see your time much faster and you have a quicker access to all of your apps and everything else on your watch. Now every time I get a smartwatch, one of the first things I do is to reorder all of my tasks and add some more to it. Just long press on one of your tiles and press the plus symbol on the bottom, and now you can add more apps to your rotation. I always like to have all of my health apps, the activity tracking, the weather, and maybe one or two more, and then the next thing I do is to reorder all of these apps. I put the health tracking stuff in front since those are the ones that I check most, then I go with the sport modes and the activity tracking, the weather, and then comes all of the other stuff. It just saves me a lot of time and I don't have to scroll all the way through all of my tiles to find important stuff. Okay, so this next one is just a very small change, and that is to change the brightness and the text size. In the display settings, you can change the brightness to 3 different levels, or just leave it in the auto mode. The auto mode is pretty good, I would say, and you're not doing anything wrong by leaving it like this, but I would suggest to leave the brightness level in the middle. It's a perfect mix of saving your battery life and you can still read everything on the screen. Also, the text size is one and done thing. There are 6 different levels. I use the smallest text size most of the time. Like this, I get the most out of my display. The bigger the text size, the less you see from your text and messages. With the new Google Pixel Watch 3, you now also have the emergency SOS feature, and it's not just for the adventurous people, it's also good for everyone else. So first you need to set a contact as your emergency contact, and then you have different options to contact this person. You can either quickly press the crown 5 times, you can share your position the whole time with the share real-time location, or what I like the most is the safety check. Now this one lets you set a timer whenever you need to feel safer. If you cannot confirm you are okay when the timer ends, your location is shared automatically. I would also say that there is a best way to use the Google Voice Assistant. The Hey Google feature isn't as good as if you just press the side button for a second or two. And if it comes to your messages, I wouldn't use the keyboard to type since it's pretty small, even if you're using the larger 45mm version of the Pixel Watch 3. I would always use the Speak to Dictate feature, which works surprisingly good. You have no spelling errors and it's just so much faster. And guys, there we have it. Like always, I will leave the link to the watch down below in the description. And also don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more tech reviews. And I guess with that one being said, I will see you in the next one. Peace.